Okay, welcome back everybody for the second session of the day. I hope that was very informative and you enjoyed those little groups. Now, bringing on for our next set of presentations, I'd like to introduce Tom Fuller from the Royal Air Force, the physical instruction
That's
training
it.
instructor, to tell us a bit about the Royal Air Force and the opportunities there. So over to you, Tom.
Brilliant.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
for that, Damon. So, thank you all, everyone within the Red Kite organising this, and obviously to Damon and Lee there for being my technology there. And also, thank you for you guys for sitting up there listening to me present. So, what I would say is, if you do, I've only got 10 minutes on this. So, if you do have any questions, at 1:45, just come and visit my stand and I'll answer any questions you may have about the Royal Air Force there. So, I'm just going to give you a very, very quick overview. I've never done it this quick in my life about myself. So my name's Tom Fuller. Within the military, we have a rank structure. So my rank is a sergeant, which is kind of your middle management level on that one. I've been in the RAF now for over 17 years, and my job role, as Damon's already said there, is a physical training instructor. So in short, what that is a fitness instructor. So the person who tends to shout at everyone to get them in shape within the military. I've also done rehabilitation, so I work alongside a doctor and a physiotherapist, and we get injured personnel back to full fitness, which is a really rewarding job there. So, Lee, just click onto the next slide for us. Work to treat. So, this 10 minutes, then I'm just going to quickly discuss about some of the roles available within the Royal Air Force, and we'll have a little look about the apprenticeships. But again, at 1:45, if you want to visit the sort of my stand there, we can go over a bit about the important stuff, so such as your pays, the benefits, the rewards of being in the Royal Air Force. I'll also talk about some of the challenges, because that's a true reflection of it on there, the qualities the RAF look for in individuals, the application process, and because of my background, if you want to talk about any of the fitness standards about the Royal Air Force, I'm more than happy to. So again, Lee, next slide. So just very quickly, some of you may know what the Royal Air Force is, what it does, etc. But in short, I will do it within 2 sentences. So the Royal Air Force, ultimately, we police or we secure the skies. Whether that's in the skies above the UK or in any airspace around the world, it's our job within the Royal Air Force to protect the UK from threats at home, but also peacekeeping abroad. So we're lucky that we've got cutting edge technology which enables us to rapidly respond to any threat. The RAF, we work alongside the other services, so the Royal Navy, the Army, and together we form a tri-service. So even though you join the Royal Air Force, we are all together the armed forces, and ultimately our goal is to protect the UK, to make sure it's safe. We're lucky that the RAF, 17 years down the line, I'm still enjoying it. I love it in that side. It's exciting and it's varied. Currently, we've got around 28,000 impressive personnel from diverse backgrounds, and we're all making a difference to improve the Royal Air Force. Whenever I speak to people about the Royal Air Force, all they think about is a pilot, but we've got more than 55 different jobs available. So any job you can imagine in the civilian street, we've got a role very similar to that within the Royal Air Force. So we are more than just being a pilot. And these jobs, we offer skills for life and a chance to play in operations around the world. So we always have job vacancies within the Royal Air Force. So that's just a quick overview about the Royal Air Force. Again, Lee, if you can click. So when we talk about the jobs in the Royal Air Force, as I've just briefly mentioned, pilot, we do more than that. So the pilot can only do their role if it's the chefs cooking them food, if it's the fitness instructors making sure that they're fit for their job, if it's the technicians making sure that the aircraft work, and then the pilots can fly that aircraft. So we've all got a different role, and we've got loads of them roles. So we have two options. You can join the Royal Air Force as a regular. So that is your full-time job. So that is your primary role. But if, for example, you want to join the Royal Air Force, but you don't really want to commit all year round, we also do a thing called Royal Air Force Reserves. And that one there is a minimum of 27 days a year you have to contribute towards that. You can do that up to the age of, you can apply for that up to the age of 54. So it's quite varied in that one there. We also offer sponsorships, etc. And again, Lee, if you go on to the next one. So the jobs within the Royal Air Force. So these are classed as your ground trades. So as you can see on there are so many different jobs. So for example, we have 8 different trades within the Royal Air Force, but there's lots and lots of jobs within those particular trades. So we've got musicians, we've got chefs, drivers, regiment gunner, which is kind of the equivalent of the Royal Air Force soldiers, so the Army Infantry, that's our equivalent. We've got RAF police who can work alongside the civilian police. They can do various roles, so dog handling, bodyguarding or close protection, a bit like the film program CSI Miami, crime scene investigators. So once you choose a particular job, again, it branches out into lots of opportunities. So if you wanted to be a medic, within that one, you could work at a medical centre, or you could be a field medic. So you're going out more into the operation side of it. We've got lots of technical, mechanical roles within that one there. These particular roles, so firefighters, etc., they vary. So you can apply to join the Royal Air Force at 15 years and 9 months, all the way up to 47 as a regular RAF personnel. Some of these particular jobs, they don't require any qualifications. Some of these roles will require GCSEs, but it varies depending on the job. Again, Lee, if we go on to the next. Now we go on to the sergeant's job. So as I mentioned earlier, my role as a sergeant, I've been in the Royal Air Force for over 17 years. These particular jobs, if you applied for these 3 jobs, once you've finished your training, you would be a sergeant straight away. So it's a little bit more competitive. So there's 3 roles on that. We have a lot of people apply for those because ultimately they get paid a little bit more money because they have more of a management role. And these ones, because of that, they would require, for example, 5 GCSEs. So a little bit more competitive, and you would need to stand out compared to the next person. Again, the next one, next slide there. Then we move on to our officer roles. So these are kind of our bosses within that department. So on the slide earlier, we saw you can join us as police, but you can also join as an officer. So the officer for the police would be the boss of that department, and then you would have the people below working for it. Again, more responsibility, more of a management role, again, more money to reflect that. But again, these people need to sort of lead the future of the Air Force. So it's not that they're going to be there shouting, etc., but they need to be, supportive for their team below them. And again, for an officer role, they kind of look at 2 A levels or a degree. So, for example, your pilots in here. If you was a physiotherapist in the NHS and you thought, I've had enough of that, I would like to come and join the military, there are opportunities in that one there. So again, next slide, Lee. Now we're going to just quickly go on to apprenticeships. And for me, this is really important. And the RAF is forever evolving and improving on this one. So next slide there. So onto this one here. Currently, we've got 23 different jobs you can join up as. So for example, I want to be a chef. I joined the Royal Air Force for a career as a chef. I don't necessarily need to be qualified in that. So I join up as a chef, and then I can actually gain an apprenticeship whilst I'm learning my career. So I'm learning to be a chef, but I'm also gaining a civilian qualification. And then if I ever did leave the military, I've got these qualifications behind me. And these are recognised in the civilian street for when you do leave eventually. Currently ranked as outstanding by Ofsted, so fantastic on that one. But ultimately, what's beneficial for me, I would say, is you're getting paid to learn a new skill. You're in the Royal Air Force, but you're also gaining these qualifications. So the qualifications, next slide there, Lee, they can vary depending on the job. So for example, we go from a level 2 apprenticeship, equivalent of 5 GCSEs, all the way up to a level 4, which is the equivalent of a foundation degree. However, once you've gained this, so you're doing that whilst you're learning your career. So I'm learning to be a chef, but I'm also gaining one of these levels apprenticeship. Fantastic. But we want to continuously challenge you. So once you're in the Royal Air Force, we don't want you to just settle at that. There'll be opportunities for you to do further qualifications and opportunities out there. So for example, for me, the Royal Air Force helped fund and support me to study a degree. So that's a civilianised, recognised degree. They paid for me to do my sports massaging, etc. So there will be opportunities to constantly challenge yourself, which is fantastic. And ultimately, it'll benefit you, but it will also benefit the Royal Air Force with the personnel you're dealing with. So next slide. And on here, it will just show you them 23 roles where you can gain an apprenticeship. So for example, your police, your firefighters, loads of different roles in that one. You're learning your career, but you're also gaining an apprenticeship on that one there. And again, next slide onto that one. As I've already mentioned, because I've got probably 30 seconds on here. So come to speak to me if you would like at 1:45, and we can discuss anything about the Royal Air Force. But for me, what I would really say, the Royal Air Force isn't for everyone, but the opportunities out there are fantastic. And if you've got a question and you think it might be a silly question, it's worth asking me whilst I'm here, and I'll give you a true reflection about it. But it's the opportunities for me which is fantastic. Going to certain places around the UK that I probably wouldn't have been, or abroad. It's given me a better insight for it, but I'm also getting paid to do that one. So on the Royal Air Force website, it'll have more information on that one there. And I believe that's me, Lee. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for that. Loads of opportunities in the RAF, an exciting place to work for as well. As we move on to next, I said at the start we have a range of organisations. The next one is a local organisation who offers training for everyone, but I won't steal their thunder as usual. We have Christine Frost from Buckinghamshire Adult Learning, who can tell you about the opportunities to use their organisation. Hi, Christine.
Hi, Damon. Thanks
a lot
much for inviting me to the job fair today. It's a pleasure to be here. So some of you may be familiar with Bucks Adult Learning, some of you may not. We offer part-time courses for job seekers and lots of other people as well in Buckinghamshire. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview about what we do, where we do it, and then there'll be an opportunity for you to ask questions later in the session today. So as I say, we are part-time. We provide part-time courses for anybody over 19 years of age. So you need to be at least 19, and you need to meet some residency requirements to meet the government funding rules. The courses we offer are normally at Millbrook Adult Learning Centre in Wickham, or Quarrendon Adult Learning Centre in Aylesbury, or we have a Chesham Adult Learning Centre as well. There are the three main centres in Buckinghamshire. However, we have, as you know, developed a broad range of online courses as well. So a lot of our provision going forward will be a mixture. Some courses are in centres and some are online still, and some may be a blended mix of both. So the idea is to offer a wide range of types of access to provision to meet everybody's needs. So my job is to be a teacher and also be a manager as well. So I manage a range of tutors who are delivering these courses across Buckinghamshire. And we have developed some really new and exciting provision this year that I wanted to tell you about today. So the new things I wanted to tell you about is that because we are hearing from a lot of people that digital skills and digital poverty, digital barriers to getting work are really stopping people finding, developing their skills, getting access to searching for jobs online. We have developed a new way for people to come into our centres and use our Wi-Fi and use our computers. So at Millbrook Adult Learning Centre, there is a digital drop-in session every Wednesday from 12 till 2. And anybody is welcome to come along then and use our room and our computers. We've got Chromebooks, we've got desktop computers, we've got iPads. But if you want to bring your own device, maybe you're struggling to upload something or install an app, come along, bring it with you. We can help you do that. So in Wickham, as I say, it's Wednesday, 12 till 2. In Quarrendon, it is on a Monday, 1 till 3. So you don't have to book, just show up and we'll do our best to support you. And we'll let you know about courses that might help you as well, but there's absolutely no pressure to enrol on a course at all if that's not what you want to do, but we'll let you know what the options are. So that's really exciting. That's really new for this year, digital drop-ins at Quarrendon and Millbrook. And we're hoping to also offer it at Chesham as well. We're just looking into that at the moment. The other thing I wanted to tell you about that's new is that we have new drop-in sessions for assessments for people who want to get qualifications in maths, English and digital. So it was interesting to hear Tom say about some of the roles in the RAF. You need to have certain levels of qualifications, certain number of GCSEs. So if you haven't already got your English or you haven't got your maths GCSE at a pass, so that's grade 4 GCSE, or grade C and the old O levels perhaps, then you can come to us and we can support you to gain that qualification, and that's a level 2 qualification. We offer that in 2 ways. There are the GCSE courses, which are a full academic year, and they've just started, so you need to be quick if you want to join one of those. But we also offer shorter courses that get you there quickly. It's not quite the range, the breadth of a GCSE course, but it'll get you to a level 2 functional skills qualification. And that level 2 functional skills qualification will definitely open doors to more jobs. We've seen that with lots of people who come to us. They want to work in schools, they want to do a nursing degree, they want to become a teacher. They need to have those English and maths qualifications. And not everybody has a very happy experience necessarily at school. They might not have left school with the grades that they might have hoped for. That's not the end of the road. If that's what you want to do and you have the desire to learn and the commitment, we can help you gain those qualifications as an adult. So please do approach us if you want to find out more about English and maths and digital skills qualifications, which are free if you don't already have a pass at those levels, level 2. And at Millbrook in Wickham, we have drop-in sessions to get you started on that journey. So on a Wednesday morning at Millbrook from 9:30, just come along and there'll be a tutor there who'll have a chat to you, find out what the gaps are in your knowledge, how we can fill those gaps, and we'll give you advice on the best course for you to move you forward and to get those qualifications as quickly as possible. So as I say, the functional skills qualifications are short, but they will get you to that level 2 level as quickly as we can get you there, depending on what your starting points are. So that's why we need to find out what your starting points are, and we can design a journey for you, a progression for you to get you there. Okay, so we talked about digital drop-ins to practice your IT skills. We talked about the maths, English and digital assessments at Millbrook. If you can't get to Millbrook, you can do online assessments, or let us know, we can book you in for an assessment, and I'll be sharing details which hopefully Damon can share with all the participants today, so you have access to our detailed information. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is our I don't know if you've heard about the Sector-Based Work Academy programme that has been set up by DWP. So we're working very closely with DWP to offer these intensive courses which are linked to employers. And very excitingly, we're just launching some new Sector-Based Work Academies, or SWAPs, that are starting very soon. So I wanted to just bring these to your attention. We have one starting very soon in the rail industry, and there are information sessions on that coming up next week on the 29th of September. If you look on our website, there is a link, Microsoft Teams link to those information sessions. So I'll share this information with you later. So please do come and find out about that. So the rail one, again, these are all very intensive courses, and normally over maybe 1, 2 or a number of weeks. So they're not a long course. It's usually every day. You have to commit to attending every day normally, and it can lead to a qualification as well. So alongside the rail one, we've also got lots of hospitality swaps. So there are lots of vacancies in hospitality in Whitbread, and we're working closely with them to develop a course to help people find out about what it's like to work in these roles, support them to apply for these roles, and give them that extra confidence to apply and get some work experience with Whitbread. Alongside the rail and the hospitality swaps, we also offer swaps in applying to work in the civil service, where there are lots of vacancies at the moment, and also swaps in business administration as well. So that's very much around if you want to work in customer service and finding out what it's like to work in an office environment. And once you come on one of these swaps with us, obviously, it will give you that extra confidence, as I said, to develop skills to apply and go through the application process, but they can also lead on to other qualifications you might want to get with us as well. And the other new thing I wanted to mention to you was our new distance learning qualifications. These are free for anybody. You don't have to be a job seeker. So distance learning qualifications are carried out independently by you at home using an online platform. You work independently, doing chunks of work, sending it in to your tutor or assessor. They give you feedback. And then at the end of the programme, you'll come out with either a level 1 or level 2 qualification, depending on which subject you've chosen. And we've added lots of new qualifications this year. So if you're interested in working in adult social care, for instance, or working with children in schools, with young people, we have lots of courses that will help you have those new qualifications to put on your CV that might help you get an interview. For instance, learning about working with people with learning disabilities, learning about mental health awareness, specifically about understanding autism, and then subjects like falls prevention, dementia awareness, etc. And then alongside that, we've got distance learning courses on digital skills, customer service, business admin. So there's just too many to cover really to show you right now. But again, it's all on our website. You can go and have a look and see if any of those qualifications are of interest to you. So they're 12-week courses, so you have to complete the work within 12 weeks. But the beauty of it is you don't have to attend a class at a particular time. You just do the work when you've got the time available. So for somebody who's got domestic responsibilities at home, or you're working and you want to boost your career, for instance, then that might be something that will fit around your other responsibilities. I know I've been talking a long time, so just give me a shout if I need to stop at any point. The other things that we offer are lots of foundation digital skills. So I talked about the digital drop-ins. We also offer courses to help you develop your digital skills as well. And these are designed for complete beginners, but also people who've got a little bit of experience but want to get more skills in using, for instance, the Microsoft Office suite. So please come and talk to us if you want to go on a course to develop your digital skills. We've got courses starting regularly. And for beginners, they are in centres, so you get that face-to-face support, which is really important when you're a beginner. You need to be shown how to do it, what you might be doing slightly wrong, and need to change the way you're doing things. I talked a lot about digital skills. We also offer lots of courses around well-being, and this is really important. So we offer lots of skills, courses around confidence building, stress management, general well-being, and we're developing new courses all the time to support people develop those ways of developing their own resilience, really. So again, it's all on our website. Go and have a look if you want to find out more about those. And the last thing I just wanted to mention to you was about our employability workshops. Every Monday online, we're offering a short workshop for anybody who wants to come along and find out about different aspects of their journey towards work. So we do different topics each Monday. So we do them on CV writing. I think next Monday it's application forms, completing application forms. We do them on interview skills, and particularly a separate workshop on video interviewing skills. So I think that's all I needed to say. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't know if there's any questions in the chat. We have the opportunity. You'll be going in later on in one of the tables, but yeah, we've got links to your website on our website for the training and promoting your training opportunities. And it's glad you've got such a range. You know, the digital well-being, and I know the links from the civil service and things like that. So it's really good stuff that's happening there, and really busy over the last year or so.
Yes.
That's good.
Thanks, Damon.
Thanks, Christine.
Okay.
Wonderful organisation, local organisation. And our next presenter organisation is Bucks Fire and Rescue. I'd like to introduce Laurence Whitelock.
Good morning.
To the platform. Give his presentation. Thank you, Laurence.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for letting me join today. So, yes, Bucks Fire and Rescue Service operates within Buckinghamshire and Milton Keynes. I have been working here since 1999, so approximately 22 years. Previously, a career would have been approximately 30 years for an operational firefighter. However, that's going to be more like 40 years now, but I'm approximately halfway through. So I have worked all over the county, Amersham, Beaconsfield, Wickham, Aylesbury, Milton Keynes over my career, which is open and available to anybody that signs up for work for Bucks Milton Keynes Fire Service. I don't know how much people know about the fire service, but often we'll refer to as firefighters. I have gone to a couple of management positions, but still regarded as a firefighter. However, there's a firefighter through to a crew commander to a watch commander. These three ranks are what you would find on your typical average fire engine, which people see out in the street. And then above that, you have more middle to senior management positions. In which point,
Laurence, I don't know if your camera's off or.
Let's have a look at this. Here we go.
There you go. Sorry, I didn't know what you used. Thanks, Laurence.
Okay, so so above that you've got the middle to senior management positions, which you no longer ride on fire appliances, but you will still have a commitment to attend any incident that the fire engines attend, but as an officer, so you'll be turning up in a car with blue lights. So it is quite a varied job, more than what people might think on the outset. So I am a watch commander, so I am still eligible to ride a fire engine, albeit at the moment I'm in a different kind of role, based at our headquarters, which is in Aylesbury, looking at projects which involves HS2, integration of rotors and etc. But everybody who joins a fire service has to actually join as a firefighter. At the moment, we don't have any structure in place where you can join at a rank above of firefighter. And to do that, there's different routes in, either through the on-call firefighters or through a whole-time recruitment process. Whole-time, we refer to whole-time as somebody whose primary role is the fire service, whereas the on-call, they often have that role running alongside another job. So if you were to join the on-call, you would commit to a set amount of hours each week. You would say you will be able to give to being available for fire calls. Now we do it slightly differently in Buckinghamshire. It always used to be that you could only respond to a fire station within 5 minutes or so of where you live or where you work. Bucks Fire have expanded that so that if you don't live within 5 minutes or 8 minutes of a local fire station, you can actually be up to 20 minutes or an hour away. But our mobiliser system allows for that, because not all the times a fire engine needs to go out the doors, needs to go out to an emergency. They may be backing up other crews who are already at an incident, been there for 4 or 5 hours, and then need relieving. So it is open to a wider community, certainly more than it was, say, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And that role there, that actually gives you a real good insight into what the role of a firefighter is, albeit you're not there on a day in, day out 42-hour week, which is a standard week for a firefighter. So you're not doing the going 9 o'clock, finish at 1800, or start at 1800 and finish at 0900 in the morning, but you're still getting to go out in the fire engine, getting to test the equipment, ensuring that your fitness is where it should be to carry out the role. And a lot of our firefighters actually come through the on-call firefighter scheme. If you choose not to do the on-call route, there is a whole-time firefighter recruitment. And actually, this week we've actually just announced we are taking on whole-time firefighters. You can find information about the on-call and the whole-time on our website, which I shall put up at the end of the session. But yes, we are recruiting. The recruitment deadline is 11th of October, and the start date, I believe, they're looking to start training in April next year. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time to get through everybody through the selection processes. Within that is physical tests, it's interviews, and written tests. All the information can be found on our website, but the basics to be able to apply would be you have to be minimum 18 years old, must have a full UK driving licence, you must be able to swim, which I'll go into in a little bit, must live within 20 miles of the Bucks and Milton Keynes county borders, and must have level 2 functional skills, either GCSEs in Maths and English, A to C, or the equivalent of that GCSE. So that is for a whole-time firefighter, and it's slightly different for an on-call. So that's our recruitment there. I said it's absolutely spot on timing for talking to you today, because it isn't that often we recruit, and we are doing it now, and that will be an apprenticeship scheme as well, which involving that is approximately 12 weeks training before you can be put on station. We use the Fire Service College in Gloucestershire. You go there for approximately 6 to 8 weeks, and then the rest of the training is done in-house. So if you are successful in an application to become a whole-time firefighter, it's not all about just going to fires. There's only certainly a smaller percentage of our time is spent attending incidents than, say, the ambulance or the police force. We spend a lot of time working within our communities, and it should be something which anybody that wants to work in the fire service should be an important part to them to make the community safer. So we go around out to people's houses, ensuring that they have smoke detectors. If they don't, we fit smoke detectors, and also a wider sense of ensuring that the person lives in the house of their well-being, to make sure that they are being able to look after themselves, or if they're not able to, we can direct them to be assisted by other agencies, and then liaising with perhaps social services, police, ambulance, to make sure that not only they're protected by fire, their overall care is looked out for. So within that day-to-day, we have very regular training because of our varied work. It's not just fires, not just road traffic collisions. We go to animal rescues, we go to trench collapses. If there's anything happens, say we've got a big tunnel come through HS2 now, so anything to do with HS2, we would get involved in that. And I may have heard of urban search and rescue. This is a key function, especially centred around Aylesbury, where there's any major incidents across the whole of the UK, we can be mobilised to that. And then also mentioned about swimming, you must be able to swim. We have water rescue units within the service, have one in Milton Keynes and one in South Bucks. So if you're stationed there, you would be trained in specialist water rescue skills, which have to go off to other parts of the country to get specialism training for. And yeah, so it is not just your standard what you would think we do on a day-to-day. So if anybody is interested in this, I'm available after, but our Bucksfire website is www.bucksfire.gov.uk, and all the information is on there with regards to what tests you have to do, physical and written, and the process in which you have to go through, and it's all contactable through the website. I'll be taking questions after. Damon, is there anything you've got for me?
No, we haven't got any questions at the moment, but as I said, we can go into the tables so that later. We'll be in there in about 5 minutes, I would say. So hang on, we've got one. Are there part-time or full-time?
Yeah, so the on-call is the part-time. So
yep.
that works around your life outside of your other job. So you can be available from your workplace, should you be allowed by your employer, or when you finish there, you're available throughout the evening or throughout the day, up anything from 25 hours a week or up to 120 odd hours a week if you're available.
Sounds good. Sounds an exciting place to work for, and very valued organisation and community.
Thank you.
So our next organisation we're going to have, we got a video on what it's like to work at Red Kite, and then we'll go into our tables, and we'll have a member of our HR team at the Red Kite table, and we'll let you see what it is to work for our organisation and how it is. We've got a couple of opportunities, such as a strategic asset and land manager, as well as a community engagement support. But there are opportunities on the horizon. So we'll display that video and then we will go into the tables. Just remember, if you press join on the tables, you'll go into those areas. Thanks, Lee.